decided to end the Bank of International Settlements. But the Bank of International Settlements is so powerful that it never ended, even though they voted to end it. And worse than that, the Dulles brothers, with their lawfare at the time, they gave the Bank of International Settlements, they put something in called the International Organization Immunity Act of 1945, which protect the Bank of International Settlements from any audits, from any investigations, from any legal, for the people or the bank, any kind of legal, jeopardy, and then basically gave them sovereign immunity in Switzerland. And here's the craziest part. Then they accepted that the International Organization Immunity Act would also give all of those immunities to the IMF, World Bank, and 63 other banks. That is still in place today. Today, in America, we have the IMF and the World Bank in Washington, that the United States of America has zero jurisdiction over soil. And then, of course, John Foster Dulles goes on to help draft the United Nations entire treaty, which is a joke. He's in San Francisco. And guess what? They extend the International Organization Immunity Act to the United Nations and 76 other tentacles of the United Nations to this day. That act is still there, and we've had president after president not mention that we have international organizations and international banks on U.S. soil that the United States government or intelligence or anyone has no jurisdiction over at all. And that is a very, very big problem in a country that's supposed to be a constitutional republic.
So, if you really, it's kind of, first of all, it was mind-blowing to go, like, well, how come it took them okay? How come it took them to 2026? How come people haven't put this stuff together before? I mean, I've heard people talk about the IMF and have talked about we've had Catherine on. The first time I ever heard of the Bank of International Settlements was just this year, and stuff, and so this whole idea of, it really does make you think, do you really feel that voting really doesn't matter? Because this is kind of the groundwork for how your vote doesn't matter. They wanted to make a super government above the kind of government you're allowed to vote for, and even to have, even you can have a flag in your government, everything, but we are the big, and so now it's like the WEF and the Bilderberg. We run things, and you can have your little elections, but we're the ones who decide how things happen. That's really, and it all started, even before, as you point out, even before the end of World War II, they were already figuring this stuff out.
Right, exactly, and that's the disturbing part, and then it gets so much worse, because the worst part is that while they're creating all of this, and I'm saying it's the Nazi industrialists and banks, it's the Bank of England and the City of London, it's our Wall Street bankers, and then these Dulles brothers, Sullivan and Cromwell lawyers. The next thing they do is that they hatch the idea for the CIA, and essentially the CIA was created in this same time period, and I believe not only the CIA and MI6, but the Five Eyes Nations was also created in this period. It is my belief that the Five Eyes Nations and the entire apparatus of the CIA was created to protect the architecture that they were creating for the international banking cartel and the endless war for profit global public-private partnership of which we live under today. And frankly, then, one-page document that created the CIA. It also created the National Security Council and the Department of Defense and a whole bunch of stuff. One page. And the craziest part is 3 presidents in a 3-year period warned that the CIA had gone rogue. First, it was JFK, which is what my book's based on. Then, as you know, Eisenhower on his way out said the banks and military-industrial complex are a real problem. Then Truman signed the Alan Dulles CIA entire manifesto. He said on his deathbed, I think in 1963, that had he known what the CIA would become, how sinister, and that it would be running its own foreign policy and covert operations, he never would have created it. And yet those 3 men all warned us, and to this day, no one's done anything about it. They've gotten more powerful, and many of the men in there, they promote themselves. The Warren Commission is for the people involved, but that has become the model. The model is that when the government or the intelligence agencies do something that is against the people of the country or foreign nations like that are sovereign, and you go and infiltrate them through the NED or USAID, then what happens next is they put themselves on the commission to investigate it. So nothing has ever been truly transparent, and no accountability has ever been had since, because they created the model to protect themselves.
And so, like, what you're talking about is JFK's assassination, and they have. And then they filled the Warren Commission with people from the CIA. And wasn't Dulles? Wasn't he like the liaison for the press? With the So and then of course Gerald Ford gets to be president because he was a good boy on the Warren Commission.
Exactly, and Earl Warren himself. There was also somebody named John McCloy that Americans don't know anything about. This guy was so instrumental in all of this. There's a great book called The Wise Men, and it's about the guys during that time that created this, and each one of them had some kind of node, which also included incorporating the Nazis into our country. McCloy was the guy from America that went to denazify Germany after World War II. Well, that's not what he did. And he didn't know. What they did was not just Operation Paperclip, which a lot of people know about that, but what people don't know is that it wasn't just some names, new identities, or placement to academia. We never had placement to academia. We never had to behavioral science or sociology. Well, a lot of that came out of Nazi Germany, and from actual people who did that. And then the other side is the Gehlen organization. So Alan Dulles, first of all, the SS was based in Ukraine, essentially. The worst of the worst of the SS was in Ukraine. And Alan Dulles made sure, for some reason, that no Ukrainians were held accountable at Nuremberg. But on the other side of that, at Nuremberg, there was a lot of people that were sentenced that then McCloy and Alan Dulles went in and got out and brought out, and they put them back into industry in Germany. Some of these guys from IG Farben were charged, and other people put them back into their companies as if nothing happened. And then the other thing is that Hitler's highest level intelligence was this guy Reinhard Gehlen. Well, Alan Dulles decided that Gehlen was important. He would just erase the SS and Nazi, and he would incorporate him and his entire operation that was in West Germany into the CIA. So into the CIA comes the Gehlen organization, and then Dulles and McCloy put this guy that was a Nazi, the highest level Nazi intelligence, running West Germany for the United States, essentially. So then all these people essentially were absorbed into America, into academia and everywhere else. And a big help with all of that was the Ford Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, and the Carnegie Institute, taking as many of these great scientists and thinkers and even filmmakers and propagandists, all from Nazi Germany, into America because of their expertise.
I mean, it's outrageous. First of all, people are going to say, "No, you're a conspiracy theorist," but you're actually you're a documentarian. That's what this is. This is, and it's when you watch documentaries about World War II, they always talk about how World War II changed the world. But what really changed the world way more than World War II is the stuff you're talking about that was happening behind the scenes, and you got it in your book. That's what really. So if you want to know why, you live in the world you live in, and that how the powerful people control you, how you don't actually, how come things don't ever get better for you, and how no matter what you vote, the same shit. It's in your book, and this is the beginning of it, and I just can't believe it's 2026 and MLK, and so now what do you hope people? Do you hope this changes people in some way? What do you want people to do with this information?
Well, this is one of 4 books. They're actually taken from the JFK speech in 1961 to the press. If anyone didn't know, the press was a problem all the way back then.
Yeah.
But what you should know is that he said that our country was being infiltrated instead of invaded, a subversion instead of elections, intimidation instead of free choice, and guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. So I wanted to know exactly what he was talking about. I didn't expect to find what I did find, which was that America was totally betrayed on this level as a constitutional republic. It was over. But the thing that we have to know is that after the Dulles brothers were done in Switzerland, they got the 2 highest positions in the United States that are unelected. The Secretary of State, the head of the State Department, and the head of the CIA. Well, what happened then is that I believe that the State Department, the CIA, and later National Endowment for Democracy and USAID, which is not aid, it's international development. It came out of this period. It was the Draper Report, and it's about soft power in foreign countries to move the military-industrial complexes priorities to the front in any nation that they wanted to. So what really was going on at this point is that the Dulles brothers moved in there, and I think from that point on in 1953, that the State Department became a piece and a partner in the international banking cartel and global public-private partnership, and ceased to work for the United States of America. And the worst part and the most obvious thing is that the regime changes, there's been about 80. The first regime change happened in 1953, surprise, surprise, and that was in Iran.
Iran, yeah.
It was called Project Ajax, and they ran it, the Dulles brothers. And then you find out later that Iran wanted to nationalize their oil, but Sullivan and Cromwell's client, BP, did not want that. Next thing you know, we're doing a regime change operation in Iran. Next thing, 54, they go to Guatemala, wanted to change their agriculture rules and all of that. Well, United Fruit was a client of Sullivan and Cromwell, and also I think Alan Dulles sat on the board. Well, that was the second regime change. So then I'm starting to think, was every regime change really a global public-private partnership, multinational regime change, rather than a democracy regime change? And I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. I think the State Department went rogue in the 50s and has remained that way to this day.
Well, I mean, it's Smedley Butler, it's Wars of Reagan. It's the same thing, and that he worked for international banker gangsters. That's what all the wars you see in South America, all of them, all of it, right? What's happening in Ukraine? It's the same thing. They thought they were going to be able to topple Russia. They were going to be able to get Putin out, and that they were going to split up Russia. They call it balkanize, and then BlackRock and Vanguard and State, they were going to be able to come in and take over and split it up, which is what they're actually doing to Ukraine with their farmland. And so this is all the genesis of all of it.
It's the same model. And we have to know also that before the Hitler surrendered, Himmler and a lot of bankers and lawyers from the multinational corporations, they all got together, and it's in there. It's declassified. The Red House Papers is what it's called. But they also decided to launder all the money that they looted and stole from 60 million people that they destroyed their lives. And they wanted to launder it out of Germany before Hitler surrendered. So the international banks and organizations worked with them to move as much money out of Nazi Germany through the Bank of International Settlements, it looks like, to the Vatican Bank, the City of London, or the Bank of England with Norman Montague, into Argentina and then into America, into subsidiaries of these companies, into shell companies, into front companies. And that is how they got the money out, because they planned to try again before they ended World War II. They said that Hitler could fail, the Nazis could fail, but that Germany would be the front man, but they would rise again, and they would put their money and wait. And I think they planned for the World War III in Ukraine before the end of World War II, because why was Allen Dulles protecting Ukraine?
Right.
And almost immediately after the war, they started, this whole Ukraine thing started. This goes way back, and then it's in the 90s, and all these people that came in there, Soros and other people, and during that same period is when they came up with NATO, a whole bunch of Nazis in NATO, a whole bunch of Nazis in the United Nations. And you know what? It was under the guise of, it's an emergency. Well, that's what they do everything for.
Yeah.
And the reason I hope that people read the book, and there's going to be 4 of them, I'm going to go through each one of what JFK said. The reason I hope is because it should empower people to empower themselves to understand the constitutional republic is the problem. It is the United States that people have power and they don't know it, and they don't do anything about it, and this all seems so overwhelming. But if we are going to stand for the idea of America, which is very unique with individual liberty and all this stuff, well, then we have to know our real history. We are fighting the wrong enemy. We are purposely fighting each other. There is no left and right. It's not real. What is real is that I am telling you in those meetings, I believe that they set up America. This is the worst part of it all, and this is when Catherine Austin says $21 trillion has gone missing from the U.S. taxpayer. I believe that they set up America to pay for it, not just with our money, but with our lives. And that was the goal. And I think even after Bretton Woods, the United States of America paid for the entire Reconstruction through the fraudulent Marshall Fund. We paid for the creation of the EU. We paid for the World Economic Forum. We paid for, of course, the entire war on terror. We paid for the entire global governance model known as climate change, or global climate. And of course, we continue to pay. But it was always set up that the United States taxpayer would be lied to and looted into paying for all these regime change operations and centralization of power, and that our children would die fighting for things they had no idea about.
So you just briefly mentioned climate change as global control. Why don't you like science?
Back to school season is right around the corner. I'm charging $1,000 back to school shopping, and we don't need one of these bad boys. These are only $1, 1 gallon. Nyla, a good deal. We're gonna get them.
Why don't you like science?
I trust the experts on most things, but I do know that how that evolved out of the limits of growth, and the idea that there was a meeting in 2009. I don't know if you know about the Good Club meeting.
No.
But there was so in 2009 there was a meeting at the Rockefeller Institute, of course, and it was Bill Gates, Soros, Ted Turner, Buffett. For some reason, Oprah was there, Bloomberg, a bunch of bankers. And they had this private meeting where they discussed 2 things: population control and future pandemics. About 10 months later, Rockefeller puts out their Global Technology and the Future report. Pretty much, if you look at that, you're going to see exactly what happened. And the goal was, again, get to a global governance model, collapse nation states, and control the world, as you said before, between ending Russia. What was the Third Reich? They wanted to end Russia, unify Europe, and then run the world through Brussels and Geneva. Well, they want that still. They want that still. And the American people are the only people on the whole planet, if they want to do something, that can, but not in Washington, D.C. That's the greatest deception. Washington, D.C. is a failed experiment, okay? You put all that...
Awesome.
You have all these think tanks that are competing, and most of them work for the military-industrial complex. And frankly, after the Unconstitutional Patriot Act, which was written by a lot of the original CIA people over years and years, it did not come out of the woodwork after 9/11. But essentially, they created a 4th branch of government after the Unconstitutional Patriot Act that answers to nobody, not to the president, not to the people. And frankly, I think the entire DC is captured by that 4th branch, and nobody can do anything because they're terrified of their lives being destroyed. And I just think we have to stop thinking about DC as the center of the country. about as a country, because the only way this changes is if we do it in our states, in our legislatures. Most people don't even know who's running. They don't know what's going on. And I'm telling you, the global governance model was to collapse nation states and run them through mayors and regional control, no longer caring who's the president of any country. They're already over that years ago. What they do care about, have their all of their of Agenda 2030 implemented, and they've decided city councils and mayors. So if you see what's going on, you should trace those to the money behind them, because most roads lead to the Center for American Progress Society, but those are the two people, particularly John Podesta's Center for American Progress, that is running the Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goals operation in America, and has been since 2003.
And you briefly mentioned that it's not the left-right issue is a distraction, and I've been saying it for a while, and now Candace Owens is saying the same thing, and that this is her eyes have been opened, and she sees it for what it is. It's a uniparty. It's what you're describing. It's this super government that doesn't care about how. Go ahead and vote, you stupid plebe. Go ahead, and
right.
They can keep you fighting against each other. And they literally, and I learned this from Michael Parenti. They literally call them. They're not like the real issues would be economic issues, but they don't ever talk. They all agree on that. They all agree on war. They all agree on screwing workers. They all agree that agree on keeping you from health care that doesn't bankrupt you. They all agree, but they talk about They literally call them wedge issues, and that is to keep you wedged from your neighbor. Those are wedge issues, and so to keep you fighting and to think. And so I woke up to this, that your neighbor is not your enemy. That's what they want you to think. They want you to think that the people who vote for Trump or the people who vote for Harris are that they should hate each other. And it's like, no, Harris and Trump all work for the same. You're getting the exact same thing. If you see what's happening with Trump. Trump said he wouldn't do what Joe Biden was doing, and then he's doing exactly what Joe Biden was doing. And
that makes you wonder who's in control. And obviously, we've gone from president to president. Nobody ever talked about the International Organization Immunities Act. If we were really ending globalism and globalization and this whole long, Barack Obama signed us on to Agenda 2030, knowing it was a nation-state ending plan. And if you look at the same trajectory of that 2015 signing on to that, and all of these people suddenly having global NGOs, you had the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Open Society,
the Clinton Foundation
Global Initiative, the Obama Global Initiative, everything's global. And that's coming through the NGOs. The Rockefeller, Ford, and Carnegie began that model, but that's still what's going on. They've subverted the will, the voice, and the vote of the people through civil society. And the craziest part is they keep acting like they're defending democracy or protecting us from autocracy. It's all BS. It's just all lies. This is about a small group of international bankers and multinational corporations that have taken over the world, and their model is endless war for profit. And then during Reconstruction, they consolidate power. And I like I said, I believe the Ukraine was supposed to be used for World War III all the way back to World War II. And here we are.
Mel K, new book, Infiltration Instead of Invasion. It's a great read. It explains a lot. It's the first of a 4-part series based on JFK's speech. It should make everybody enraged, but it should also make everybody super informed. And exactly what you say, try to get the scales off their eyes and realize that they live in a psyop. It's not a left-right issue at all. It's them against us. And your neighbor is your friend who's being oppressed by the same people you are. Mel K,
you look at the operations, like it's a divide and conquer.
Oldest trick in the book, divide and conquer. And anyway, Mel K, I really appreciate you coming on. It's always great to see you. And I can't wait to see you in person when we come to Florida, which we will, and I'll let you know. And
thanks, sir.
All right, great job as always. Great to talk to you. Hey, come see me do a live celebrity panel August 30th in Burbank, California. Then stand up.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. As you can see, I am joined, and I'm very happy to introduce John Mearsheimer. John Mearsheimer is a professor at the Wendell Harrison Distinguished Service Professor of Political Science at the University of Chicago. He is a preeminent realist scholar of international relations, the author of several books, including The Israel Lobby and U.S. Foreign Policy, co-authored with Stephen Wald. Professor Mearsheimer, good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time.
I'm glad to be here, Danny.
Amazing. Well, let's begin with the latest developments in the U.S. war on Iran, and I'll just pull up this summary here. The United States has been engaging in bombing campaigns, it seems like multiple each day. The U.S. has targeted much of southern Iran, the coastal towns, cities, and areas, Bandar Abbas, Qeshm Island, and the like. While Iran has been, and I've heard you talk about on other programs, inflicting a pretty massive damage on the United States itself, targeting overnight the air base in Kuwait, an early radar warning system in Kuwait, a gathering of U.S. soldiers in Kuwait, as well as command and control centers, fighter jets. Also, we have mounting evidence that these losses might include U.S. troops. There's satellite imagery showing at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Oman a direct position having actually made an impact there. It is almost exclusively housed for soldiers, this hotel. And the U.S. is not only going for their defenses, it is also having their defenses blown up. We can see here satellite imagery that the Patriot air defense launcher was 110 years ago in Iraq. Professor Mearsheimer, can you help us understand why in the United States historian, what do you think of the actual situation as Trump touts that he's ready to finish off the war?
I think we went to war because we thought that we could win a quick and easy victory. It's quite clear that the Israelis, here we're talking about David Barnea, the head of Mossad, Prime Minister Netanyahu, invented this story, launched the war with the shot and block campaign, decapitated the regime, the Iranians to their knees, and be able to negotiate a good deal with them. And that good deal involved getting not only regime change, but also putting an end to their nuclear enrichment capability, their long-range missile capability, and their support of these Hamas and Hezbollah. So those were the goals. Again, we thought that this shot block campaign would allow us to achieve those goals quickly. This was a calculated idea. There was no good strategic reason to think that this would work. And of course, it didn't work. And the Iranians have proven to be remarkably tough adversaries for the United States and for Israel. And the end result is that on June this year, President Trump signed this memorandum of understanding with Iran that was in effect a surrender. If you look at the 14 elements of the deal that was worked out, this memorandum of understanding, you see that it was clear for the Iranians on almost every point. But it looked at that junction, this was around June 17th, immediately thereafter, like the war would end. But President Trump wasn't satisfied with the memorandum of understanding, and he thought that he could challenge the Iranians over Article 5 memorandum of understanding, which had to do with who controlled the Strait of Hormuz. It seems clear to me from Article 5 that it was the Iranians who controlled the strait. And nevertheless, the United States was not content with that interpretation. And the United States said that we have a right to create a channel, a separate channel, in the Strait of Hormuz that was outside the purview of the Iranians, in which we could, in effect, escort ships through the strait. The Iranians said this was not acceptable, and it's that disagreement which flared up into a fight that has put us in a situation now where we have this tit for tat set of bombing campaigns, bombing endeavors on a daily basis that you described before. I would just add to that, President Trump has also decided to reinstate the blockade of the strait. And of course, the Iranians have reinstated their blockade of the strait. So in a very important way, we're back to where we were on the 16th of June, the day before the memorandum of understanding was signed.
Yeah, well, there's evidence this is already having a pretty big impact, Professor Mearsheimer. We have, according to Reuters, no...
I don't just follow the headlines. I check how the market moves on Couch. Trade now on Couch.
are recording now, and I couldn't stop it. I tried, but that's cool. Either way, guys, welcome back to Broadcasting Seeds. I'm your host, Bennett Tan, and today, now, why didn't I talk about this before we started recording? The Berean, how do you say it?
The Berean files.
Berean files.
Yeah.
And I know I should know this, but just like I said earlier, because I watched a couple YouTubes just to see,
Yeah.
but I couldn't remember, just like your name, which is Zach. But I called him Kyle.
But to your credit, dude, I told you that anybody that ever gets my name wrong always assumes it's Kyle or Josh. I don't know. It's one of the two every time.
Wow.
So, you know.
Kyle, Josh, Zach.
I was almost named Josh.
Oh, well, good for you, man.
So we got Zach
That means
and we got Jason from the Berean files.
There you go.
Correct.
I'm going to let them introduce themselves because they're probably way better at it than I am. So get after it, gentlemen. Thanks for coming on Broadcasting Seeds.
Well, thanks for having us on Broadcasting.
Absolutely.
Man. Looking forward to having you on the Berean files.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just as far as introductions go on, you just want the show kind of introduction, or like
Whatever,
our
dude.
entire everything to go for the way they listen to him, because he goes to them and they don't believe like he does, essentially. But then he goes and he preaches the gospel, and he kind of lays it out threefold. He says they eagerly listened to everything that I had to say, even though they don't agree. Then they weigh it, they test it, and then they conclude. And so our approach is, hey, we're going to hear out anybody over anything. You can make whatever claim you want. Then I'm going to test that against Scripture, and then I'm going to conclude. And so that's sort of like what we're all about.
And one other thing, I was rereading that on Saturday actually, because we got an email from a church member about something in Acts 17 that it was totally different. But I was rereading it, looking at it. The Bereans were Jewish.
Yeah.
They were Jews, so it didn't say like they were already believers in Christ.
Right.
And so Jews kind of the Jewish people kind of get a bad rap that they missed the Messiah, but not the Bereans.
Not all Jews.
Yeah, the Bereans were like on it. They were there, and so.
Which I guess at that point, don't they transition into Christians?
Right. Yeah, I mean that's the interesting thing about Christianity, right? Like, wow, we're going there right off.
Yeah, and I haven't even.
Yeah, no, I mean,
My name's Jason. You can call me Josh.
Well,
You can call me Scott if you want. I
We'll
don't.
come back to that question because I like that question. But yes, Jason, do your thing, brother.
So I'm the second fiddle.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta admit, Berean Files was Zach's initial vision and passion.
I watched one of the episodes. I'm sorry not to cut you off, but I watched one of the episodes, and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
he's
that's
back again. I guess you're stuck with me now.
Yeah, you were getting close to launch, and you're like, I need a co-host. I need a co-host, and I kind of made a 6-episode deal. I think with you it was like, I'll run a few and give you some time to get started and find who you want, and here I am.
Well, okay. So to that point, and then I'm going to let you continue your introduction.
No, yeah.
Hold on. This is
We're gonna be
important.
2 hours in.
Hey, this is what we're doing.
So
We're talking.
I mean, if you got the time, I got the time.
So on Salty Saints, the dynamic was you had me, the millennial, and you had Randy, the boomer. Okay, and then we're having these conversations, and it was kind of like two different perspectives. Now it's you got me, the guy who's got 1 foot in conspiracy land, looking at all this craziness and what. So a lot of this is just fresh on his plate when he's hearing it from a guest, and so he's Googling, trying to like make connections, figure this thing out on the spot, and it's cool.
That's cool. That's definitely cool. That's a good show. Probably better than my show. Just,
Give me 5 seconds of your voice. I'll turn it into a real song with Soniva.
too much
Wait, my voice?
Yeah.
chat.
Right now. Sing and
Not even a little bit. He's ready to go. If he can smoke, he's sitting there smoking. Anyways, guys, let's
jump right in. You guys all know we're on Spotify. Please hit up the Spotify. If you're someone who listens on Spotify, go ahead and give it a listen. We have 1,200 reviews on Spotify, and we're almost at 11,000 people subscribed to the channel. So we really do appreciate it. If you like to watch things on there, go ahead and watch things on there. Let's get right into it. No, not this. Not
There is no such thing as a lack.
See, everything I had loaded from a year later from last week is still here. So I got to get rid of this. Although it's just pure gold. It's pure gold, and I could watch it over and over again. I wish somebody would redo the whole interview like that. We gotta move on from that. Okay? We gotta move on from that. Just really quick, somebody's been begging me to look at this, and I haven't had the chance to. Someone says they were sent merch from Turning Point, okay? And it was a shirt. It's supposed to be of Charlie, 31. Like the sweatshirt I ordered from Turning Point. It came a month before. It even showed up the same day as the event. So I naturally thought, perfect, I'm wearing this. And then they took a look at it. So check this out. So here's the ticket. And then they say, this is the shirt. I don't know if you guys can see this. Just really quick. These are purely AI pictures of Charlie Kirk. Not one of them is a real picture of Charlie Kirk. They look like Mitch Snow. They look like Sean Hannity, but they don't look like Charlie Kirk. No idea what's going on. No clue. I'm praying that this person is trolling and this is not really what they sent out there. I am praying that's what this is. This cannot be real. This cannot
You already
be
know
real.
it is.
It looks like Sean Hannity. You can't send pictures of Sean Hannity when somebody wants a Charlie Kirk shirt. You can't do that. Someone said Charlie Sheen. It's just, you can't, no. I'm hoping. Shout out to Leah. So D tagged me in this. Shout out to D. I have no idea if that's real. I am
Never get to
very
go
much
driving
hoping
around
it's not.
today recently.
I have no idea. But as you guys know, the debate it took
Always
place.
at night.
It was a wild
Late
debate.
day. Not like this time of day. There's like birds and all that stuff. So this is fun. No, I'm not really too tired. A little tired.
This is what it
But
looks like.
tomorrow
Candace looking very happy.
I'm gonna go
Happy.
pick up my brother from prison.
Used car salesman.
But they got some other people wanting to
And
pick him up.
Andrew just smoldering in fact. So there you have it. Oh my gosh, all of the AI things popping up. Let me just tell you something really quick. I just want to brace you guys for this, okay? This is going to be sprinkled throughout the entire time. You're going to see this many times. This picture, you are going to see this over and over again. This is Patrick. You're going to see this at least 4 times, okay? Just fair warning. That's how many times you're going to see this, okay? I'm just being open with you. I'm being honest with you. You're going to see this meme over and over again, okay? That is how, some people are saying this is how they looked at him when he didn't know the difference between murder and aggravated murder. I have no idea. But at some point, Patrick Bet David looked at Andrew Wilson exactly like this, because he probably knows. He's probably like, bro, Mr. Machuca paid a lot of money for this. What are you doing? Mr. Machuca paid big bucks. Where's the clip? Why are we waiting in silence for the clip? Mr. Machuca paid for this. You don't know all 7 charges. Mr. Machuca paid a lot of money for this. What are you doing?
Fort Huachuca. That's funny.
Apparently there was some backlash that happened between Andrew and Turning Point. Apparently this happened.
Wait, I can explain. Shabbat Shalom. He invested a lot.
I was having nicotine withdrawal. The chair was uncomfortable. I barely slept. My fucking
Silence.
She asked you to name one of the 7 children.
I mean, what's happening? I mean, what's happening?
What are you talking about?
We We're forbidden. We're forbidden is on a generational run for these videos. Generational run.
You said positive evidence 47.
I mean, what are we looking at? Who did this?
Times.
It was a framework.
47 times. Bring me the jar.
Bring me the jar.
I want a jar of pickles. Good God. What on earth is going on?
Oh my gosh.
Nuts.
That is so funny.
I mean, how real this looks is out of. It's just. I can't even. It's nuts. I'm someone who can always tell AI if this is what they're bringing to the table. I can't tell it. I can't tell it. We're done. I'm done. I'm 40. I'm old. I'm asking my niece.
Oh,
I'm asking her. I have no idea. I have no clue. I have to ask the younger person now. Same way my wife asks me every time she thinks something. She comes to me, she says, "Hey, honey," I say, I can't tell her I know anymore. We're done. We're done. Exactly how I looked at this video. That's exactly when I saw that video, I went, I don't know anymore. I think we're done, you know? Just crazy. But let's get into it. We're going to be showing someone what Baron went through, but a lot of reactions, a lot of stuff you haven't seen before. I know if I go through the debate, which I'm going to do here and there, a lot of it you guys...
Okay, I'll be right back.
Mr. Wachuka has a lot of power.
Who the heck is Mr. Wachuka?
That's why I talk about him with respect. You never hear me throw Mr. Wachuka under the bus. I'm just saying, you know, a lot of respect for the Mr. Wachuka, the Wachuka clan, as they call themselves. Anyways, we're just going to get into some rapid fire stuff. I mean, yeah, Patrick Bet-David, someone just said he's a tool. I don't know what you guys thought about Patrick Bet-David as the moderator. He didn't seem to do what he was supposed to do. And I don't know if that worked out in Candace's favor or worked out in Andrew's favor more. But there was a certain point where Andrew was questioning Candace on certain things, and it kind of broke away from the agreed framework that they had in place. But there's also a time where Candace, you know, was just like, let me ask you the 7 charges. And that wasn't a part of the agreed framework either. So, you know, Candace, Patrick just seemed like he was sitting back. You know, he just didn't seem like he was doing much. He pretty much just handled the commercial breaks. He's like, you want to go for a commercial break? That's it. That's basically it. Yeah, I didn't see him. He didn't really jump in and say, okay, you know, this is not what we agreed on. Please stay to the front. Like, he didn't do any of that. You know, he didn't reel people in. He didn't slow people down. He didn't say, okay, now this person talks. He didn't do any of that.
He didn't do nothing.
Like, the interrupting, like, a moderator's supposed to be like, you spoke, this person's now speaking. Hold on. He has something to say. He's finishing what he has to say. He didn't really jump in.
What is this Tractor Supply place?
Let's see. Do you have GPS?
Yes, but it's not working.
It's not working? Let's see. Okay, so just a second. So you go down here, you're gonna come to a dead end, make a right. and then go all the way down to 278 and make another right, and then it's about a mile on the right. Okay, God bless you. That was weird.
Okay, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of people. I'm gonna take viewers from you. I'm gonna take all of your views in, okay? And I'm just gonna make some dollars right now. Numbers guy. I'm Patrick Ben-David impression. I'm a numbers guy, and he is. He is. Guy's rich as all get out. Andrew brought up text. Chris Morgan, Dave Smith, which means he had said text a while ago, and he's lying about it altogether. I mean, yeah, we'll I guess we'll jump over to that. Is that the clip I have loaded right now? You know, we're just gonna sit in silence and wait for this clip that I have. Okay? That was crazy. That was crazy. When he sat in silence for that clip, I was like, oh. I'm like, he really doesn't know anything about. Doesn't know anything. He didn't even load up the clips. Like the clips weren't even his. They're just his team's. I found that crazy. That was nuts. That was nuts. The clips weren't even really his clips. He didn't even know what clips were going to be shown. I was like, what? No. Because I know, when I'm watching something blind, I say to you guys, I'm watching this blind with you guys, right? So you guys know that the reaction that you're going to get is like, I have not seen this before, so I might go off the road. I might fall on the ground. Who knows what will happen. But when I know something, and I'm telling you guys about it, like, I'm going to fill the air. If I can't find it, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, well, you know what? I can't find it. This is a clip. And this is why I was going to show it to you. This is what it was showing. He couldn't do that. And there was other examples that showed that this was not his clips. I mean, he didn't blow these up, which is crazy. It's almost like a humiliation ritual. Humiliation ritual. Hey man, they're real. It's not like they're not real. You know what? Before we get into those reactions, let's go to his magnificent performance here, where he's just straight up reading off of the phone. I saw Didi with a podcast. He was like, I think it's professional to do that. No, it's not. Hey, guys, no, it's not. It's never professional when you are about to debate with somebody to sit back like this and read off of your phone. It's one thing if you have your phone. I've seen comedians do this when they're working out some stuff. We do this all the time. We'll look at something, we'll see the chunk, because you chunk things out in your mind. So you see a sentence, and then you go. And then you look down, you see another one, and then you go. And then as you're going, you look down again, while people are laughing, and then you go, right? You see people all the time, they read things. Maybe you're at church, and you have someone who looks down at something, you're the pastor, he looks down, and then he starts reading, and then you can tell he looks down again, and then he moves on, and he looks down again, but he doesn't just go like this. That is not professional. By any stretch of the imagination, that is not professional. That is not how you handle things, especially in a debate. Especially in a debate where you're saying, I know that I have it over you. I know that I know more about this than you. I'm going to prove you wrong. This is my opening statement. I mean, I don't even know how Barron does his opening statements. He might have stuff there, he might not. He might be looking at the chat, he might be looking at a note, he might be looking at something, but you know he doesn't sit there and just read. You can tell he's connecting with you as he's talking about these like opening statements, because that's what this is. That's why I compare it, because that's his opening statement. It seemed like it was written by someone else. What? Very, very unprofessional. But I love to see it. I absolutely loved to see it. So let's get into that just a little bit. Let's hear this.
I think that's absurd. And she will not be able to demonstrate that in any way. In fact, she has almost no real evidence of her theory, whereas my theory is supported by compelling witness testimony, physical evidence, multiple confessions, all of which are independently compelling, but which are even more convincing as each piece of evidence corroborates the others. You'll notice the term overwhelming was included in both theories. This is because Candace demanded I defend my use of that term, which I think is fair. in describing the evidence against Tyler Robinson. She, on the other hand, only wanted to defend her theory as merely viable. That is, until I showed her clips in which she said she believed the evidence of her theory, that Tyler Robinson's a patsy, was supported by overwhelming evidence. Only then did she agree to defend that position. Regardless, we're both defending the claim that there's overwhelming evidence on our side, so it's worth defining that term. When I say the evidence against Robinson's overwhelming, all I'm saying is that I mean
All I'm saying.
that as of right now, I find it very convincing. I see almost no evidence at all, only speculation on verified claims and suggestions of things that could merely be hypothetically possible. Dreams, vibes, feelings, things like this. Almost done, by the way. I have no problem defending the state's case and welcome Candace bringing up any challenges she would like, but if I'm honest, the reason I was willing to pay the $300,000 for this debate was to finally have a chance for someone to demand Candace be held accountable for the unbelievable theories and claims she's been making.
This is crazy. This is crazy. So what, Andrew writes Andrew Colvette's tweets, and then when it comes to an opening statement, they write something for him? Like, well, what's going on here? What's happening? Did his wife write it? Who wrote it? Who wrote it, and why didn't you memorize it? Why isn't it memorized? You already know why you don't like Candace. You already know why you feel the way that you feel about this whole debate thing. In a world where, you know, he's debating her just because he wants to. It has nothing to do with anybody else whatsoever. It's just his own thing. All his own money, etc., etc. You would know exactly why you're doing this, or you wouldn't have an opening statement altogether. You'd be like, nah, I don't need one. Let's get started. Go watch his other debates. He doesn't do this type of thing. In the coming minutes and hours, as much as that's going to happen, if you watch his other debates, he's like on point. He knows what's going on. He's not looking down at notes or anything like that at all. Not even a little bit. He's ready to go. If he can smoke, he's sitting there smoking. He's relaxed. You know, he'll let them go first. He doesn't care. I mean, in this, someone said debates are gay. Hey, listen, preaching to the choir here. I've been saying debates are gay forever. It just is. I said that, and somebody was like, "Is that you getting nudged away from Candace Owens?" I'm like, because I think debates are gay, and she did it. I'm like, I don't like dresses and wearing makeup either. Do you think that's another nudge away from Candace Owens? I noticed that you're not wearing a dress. I noticed you're not wearing makeup and you have no battle bun put in. Is this you moving away from Candace? What? Oh my God, someone said oofs are gay. When he said oof, oh my gosh. I don't even know if I have that clip ready. When he said oof, oh my Lord. And I was like, see what I mean? See what I mean? As soon as he said it, I was like, I hope everybody who watches this show understands what I mean now. It's not even from America. It's not even from North America. You're not gonna find anybody in, I don't know, it's New Brunswick, Canada, say oof, BC, Ontario, whatever else is in the middle. I don't know what's in the middle. Okay, Saskatchewan, is that in the middle? I have no idea. But you're not gonna find that. If you're in Texas, there's no oofs in Texas. There's no oofs in New York. It's a European thing. And some guy went to Europe. I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm not. Some guy went to Europe and he heard somebody say it, and he thinks he's a cool guy, and he brought it over, and it was like an invasive species. Okay, let me just. I'm gonna pull back. I'm getting wound up now. Okay. Anyway, so I'm not gonna play this whole, opening statement. It's just wild that he would allow. And listen, maybe it's all just him, right? I know everybody has a speculation. You know, even Candace, like your turning point's horse, and that's what it seems like. But to do it this way, when you are, and I have to be honest, he is a good debater because that's all he does. So he does have it down to a science in a way. Usually the equation involves a girl who does stuff on camera, like webcam stuff. And usually that girl's not extremely smart. Definitely not Candace Owens smart. So that's a different variable for his science. But but usually he knows what he's doing. So very sad, very very sad to see him do that. Honestly, I don't like the guy, but I mean, don't do that. You know, don't do that. You don't need to do that. What other clips do we have here? I might just throw one clip. You know, I'll throw in some clips and then we'll go to some reactions. We'll jump back and forth. Lady just writes, bro is reading Andrew Colvette's Turning Point statement. Ha ha ha. That's how my researcher writes things down. That's how my researcher writes things down. Bro is reading the statements. Okay? Oh man, so where's that text message at? Because I went to this clip. Let me see that text message that you read out. Is that at the end? Let's see. Is that at the end where he reads that text message? Where does he read that text message exactly? That is another thing that popped up at the end that I thought was crazy. Candace Owen, did you get that out of your system? I mean, just hilarious. I can't find the text. I want to see the text message that he read. Laney, where is the exact text message? It's at the beginning, in the middle of his... It's like in the beginning... This is Daisy. Where's Daisy at? Here's Daisy. There, let me see. It's in the beginning, middle of his yapping. Oh, gosh. I really have to go through all of this? Here, I'm just...
I gotta go to the store, buy some stuff, or get some stuff for these people. DoorDash will actually pay for it. But I'm gonna leave you guys here. I'll be right back, actually. It's only one thing, one item.
Through the thing there, like a little, like a cow thing. Anybody with one of those, you're not getting in. Okay. And anybody with the spacers, the big spacers, if it's size 1, we might let them in. We have to have a conversation with them. If it's size like 3 and 4, then we just straight up don't let them in. If they look like they just got back from some kind of African tribe, we don't let those guys in. Not at all. If they're into IPAs, we don't let them in. If they're from Seattle, we don't let them in. You know? If they know anything about Portland, we don't let them in. If they have Rachel Maddow glasses, we don't let them in. Right? Wouldn't that just be a thing? If they're a male feminist, we don't let them in. Right? You know what I mean? If they know who Destiny is, we don't let them in. If they like Hassan Piker, we don't let them in. You know? Wouldn't it just be a thing that would be known by this security? Listen, you're only watching after me. And would he really feel that way? Apparently he loved Blake and he was great friends with Blake. Better friends with Blake than Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens.
Y'all making him look like
Loved
an itch.
Mikey. Told Mikey.
Why y'all gonna
listen,
make him?
forget about
Y'all
Carlson.
kill him and then
He
make
worked
him
for
look
me.
like an itch.
Definitely liked Mikey. Had him with him all the time.
His own wife doesn't care. Sad.
All the people. Frank was a mentor to him. Loved Frank. But when it came to that, he was like, listen, you're only looking after me. He didn't care about his friends at all. We got 12 guys. You know, make sure no one gets hurt. I think Charlie didn't care about the audience at all. Listen, even if there is a mass pew, 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 pew. If they take out a bunch of people, that's fine. But you got to make sure they don't take me out. I don't know. I thought Charlie was baby Jesus. What happened? I thought he was baby Jesus. Just 5 weeks ago, he was baby Jesus. Now all of a sudden, he's a two-faced liar who makes things up.
Yep.
He makes things up. He lies to Candace. Then he lies to friends. Then he says this thing here. And he says that thing there. That's what they're saying now about him. Only people from his side have been saying things like this, insinuating things like this. Now all of a sudden, he doesn't even care if anybody else gets hurt at his events. Okay, cool. Makes sense, I guess. Very, very weird stuff. I don't quite buy that text message. And the fact that he won't show them, he's just like, no, I'll show them on my show. It's like, okay.
Did he do it yet?
And then when he did his show, he didn't show them. Not only did he not show them, he said a bunch of stuff and then he deleted the stream after.
What?
So he didn't even let it stay up so people could rewatch the stream. He just deleted the whole thing. That was recent. I think that was like less than 24 hours ago.
Somebody
maybe
got
more than
that.
20, maybe a little more than 24 hours ago. He made a stream and then said, okay, so we're done here, guys.
Okay.
And just deleted the entire thing. Okay. So we'll see. Oh my gosh. So anyway, let's get to some more reactions here. Just a few more. You know? And of course, what would it be without a reaction from Andrew himself, ladies and gentlemen? Now, I'll give you a little bit of context here. Candace Owens had this to say. She said, just seeing our debate yesterday has eclipsed 3.1 million views in 18 hours. Truly amazing. I actually want to see what that's at now. Does she have this link? She does. You just click this for her. Can I go to YouTube? Let me go to YouTube really quick.
Are we live? Okay, so we're officially live.
Where are we at? 4.6 million views. Whoa. That is wild. 4.6 million. That is serious. And honestly, not even one of her higher rated videos. You know, you could scroll through Candace not talking about Charlie Kirk or anything and see 10 million views for a video. But still wild that it hit that fast. So she said 3.1 million, 18 hours, truly amazing. Thank you to everyone who took the time to watch. This was such a great win for those who have kept our heads down and studied this case from the very first filing, while being relentlessly attacked from people who, as Andrew Wilson so perfectly demonstrated, know literally nothing about it. I mean, Lucky nobody. They're very lucky. Gary is very lucky nobody asked him about this in a space or anything like that, because Gary would not be able to list these charges as well. I think Graham definitely wouldn't be. Officer Tatum for sure. Officer Tatum would be like, charge 1, he a booty bandit. He a booty bandit. That's charge 1. I know that's a charge. That has it from the Lord. The Lord would say that's 1 charge. He a booty bandit, and he shot at my friend. That's charge 2. Death penalty. You know, that's what he would say. Mama, can you help me with them charges? They say there's 7. Oh, baby, this is terrible. You look terrible, baby. Absolutely ridiculous. And I don't even have his reaction pulled up. Oh my gosh, he did a whole thing. He was like, I'm gonna take some of these views too. I want some of these views from Candace, sis. Sis, I'm gonna take some of your views, sis. I mean, I haven't even gone through the whole thing, but from the little clips that I've seen, he hates Candace. Straight up, no doubt about it. He hates Candace. Find someone else to make your merch. Friendship revoked. He hates her. He hates her. He despises her. The way he talks about her is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, very interesting. So she said that we will have much more to say on Monday, but wanted to just thank our audience for taking the time to watch. Andrew had this to say back. For those of you that are not on X, don't know about this. Great win, how? She admitted she had no evidence for anything over and over and over again, and that her entire case hinges on vibes and feelings. We have entered a post-truth world. Politics can't be evidence-free and feeling-based. Oh, there you go. That's what Andrew had to say. And of course, he's lit up in the comments. It's just crazy. He's lit up. The moment you said "so what" about the degraded DNA, you were over.
The customer requested you leave the order at their door. They added the following instructions. Leave at door.
And done with. That's very true. Who is this? Ads? I'm following ads. What's going on, ads? She's 100% right. Never in my life have I heard someone who claims to be a debate professional reply "so what" to a claim. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Jimmy Dore simply posts with Patrick and David show who won. Man, Vivian Kubrick. Oh, she's following me. Wow. Can I interview you about your dad in all of his movies, please? I mean, please? That would be great. And the moon landing. Let me know what you know about the moon landing. So since you follow me now, I'm going to take the opportunity. But she did a little analyst here. She was breaking everything down. It's usually a whole dissertation. She's very smart like her father. Her father used to do high-level math in his spare time. Someone said, dude, make it happen. Yeah, I can message her now. I can actually DM her. So I might have to make that happen. A little side quest. I know it has nothing to do with Charlie or Candace, but you know, I love Stanley Kubrick. You have no idea. Post-truth world. LOL. You got cooked. Take the L. Browser Constitution posting his own thing, as most times. All she had were cool stories, no evidence. You know, cool stories. Her cool stories are just her research. You know, her research is not nearly enough for Andrew. You know, it's so good. It's so good. What is this person saying? Andrew has new claimed evidence as is making threat to Candace on it. Is he? Maybe I missed that. I haven't seen any threats, but I've just seen him getting cooked, you know? Yes, post-truth. Can you honestly state you were lying when you said you knew the charges? Cuck? I mean, just rude. Andrew says, murder. I know you don't like that answer, but I did answer. Oh, jeez. That's rough. That's rough right there. That's rough. Oh, man. You know, it stings. It stings when it gets like that, you know? See Baron Coleman, some reactions there. But yeah, all in all, I don't believe that text message stuff. I don't believe that for not even a millisecond. I have to say, just to end that part. I don't believe those text messages unless he shows something more in regards to the text messages. I don't know. He's just kind of throwing it out there. Every single time Candace has said, "I have a text from Charlie," there is no announcement of it. She just puts out the text message. Andrew said, "Show us communications from not from 2018, from some earlier or some later date, 2025, 2024, 12 months, 18 months," and she did exactly that. She just puts them out. She doesn't announce. She doesn't try to, preface it. She just says, "Bang, here's a text message from Charlie." And he is not doing that. And he's saying it's for his show, but we have not seen that come out on his show. Now, I will be honest. I'm the last person to watch his show. I don't know if you guys could have guessed. I am absolutely the last person to watch his show. Okay? I mean, it's just boring. It just seems boring. At least, I'm not a fan of Destiny, but at least when you watch his show, when he's not talking about debate stuff, at least there's something there. He'll rage out on his audience. He'll do all sorts of things like that. But I mean, Andrews is just literally him sitting there just being like, okay, let's just take a look at this. Okay. Eyes completely covered. He doesn't want people to see the tears. You know how that goes. Someone said, "I'm the last after you, coach." Yeah, we're just, the clips that we have coming to you guys right now, I mean, maybe 2 minutes. That's how we're gonna see clips of Andrew. I think we have one from Daisy. Daisy reposted something of Andrew's. That's about it. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. Anyway, Barron had this to say right away. He said, "Andrew Wilson could have woken up this morning $300,000 richer with a reputation as a good debater. Erica Kirk could have woken up with many people thinking the case against Tyler Robinson is overwhelming. Thanks to Candace Owens, they didn't." Oh man, I love it. Barron stepping in there. There's a whole bunch of people. Let's see if anybody had any hate for Barron. Let's see. Anybody have any hate for Barron? Oh, right off the bat. I don't know who this guy is. No idea. Joshua Carr? Never heard of this guy. Oh, Latter-day Saint. Disciple of Christ. Child of the Covenant. Political commentator.
Taxpayers covered the cost of a first-class ticket for Mayor Bottom's husband to fly to the Super Bowl.
More than $11,600 in luxury chauffeured car service.
The State Ethics Commission has fined Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Why? Oh, did somebody say, if you had a shot to debate him, would you take it? Yup, I've offered. It's so funny when people do that. They're like, I offered to do something that would be wildly good for my career and absolutely for him whatsoever. I have, and I called him a vile coward when I did it, and I don't know why he hasn't responded. It's like, okay. Well, what do you think? Big guy? What do you think's gonna happen? Joshua? Okay. Mr. Carr? I didn't even check if anybody else is there. Joshua just pissed me off. Yeah, let's see. Anybody else? I want to see if Andrew responded. Andrew respond? Nothing. You think Andrew would respond? You think Andrew would be on it right now? Given how things are going? I mean, at the end of the day, I know I'm biased, and a lot of you, you can admit it. You're biased as well. We like Candace better, obviously, but it really does seem like Candace won that debate. Because at the end of the day, you're debating a murder trial, and you're debating a trial, and then you're debating someone's investigation into the trial. I mean, it's just, how is that going to go your way? The only thing he's saying is there's no evidence. That's it. And the three things he was focused on was the greatest ally, Erica Kirk, and the Patsy. So it's like, that was it. That was your focus. But it had nothing to do with Turning Point. But you had to make sure that everybody knew Erica was not involved whatsoever. All this thing was a big ploy to get a defamation suit. That's all it was. The whole thing was in order for Andrew to get some kind of statement from Candace that could put her into a massive defamation suit. That's what was going on, obviously. We have. Oh, the coping. The coping doesn't stop. I didn't even realize this is also from Josh Carr. Or Carr with 2 R's, whatever. Well, what's your name? Joshua the Carr? Oh man, that's really cool. I walked out of the first hour of church today, and immediately 3 people came up to me and said, Candace Owens looked like a total idiot in that debate. How can anyone be dumb enough to believe her? This is Utah, folks. These are the juries. Okay. You know, it's funny that he says that. Owen Benjamin steps in. The odds that happened in reality, 0. Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's not a lot of flies.
What was
you
the
know?
ratio you used?
No,
Back, pretty
I
girl.
don't believe that Candace Owens not
Be
one.
back, pretty girl. Big boy. Let me tell you, God bless y'all. Peace.
Everyone shouted, hooray! And then they picked me up and put me on their shoulders like it was a bar mitzvah. Or like a wedding. I was on a chair and they were all holding me up and they were like, hey, 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 hey. It was the wildest thing. And later, Jesus, Joshua, you are just so amazing and so noble. I have to marry you. And I say, no, 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 young lady, not me. I'm a disciple of God. I am a child of the covenant. I cannot. She threw herself at my feet. And she said, oh, I respect you more. And they all said, hooray! And then that lady showed up at my house late at night, and I couldn't resist. She said, I'm going to marry Joshua. And we made love into the wee hours. Because I'm a stallion. She said so. I can't tell you who she was. She's not from this school. She goes to a different school. You've never met her before. Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Andrew, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew, someone says she's from Canada. She's from Canada and she left right after. She had to go. She's rich. Her father's a billionaire. He sent a helicopter. She left. You'll never meet her. And then she said she had to go to school in Europe. So now she's gone. Oh, man. Andrew Wilson says 300K was nothing to me to prove Candace had no evidence of any of her claims. None, zero. Did you see any, Anna? Now, here's a very interesting thing when you said that, because I did repost that. I know I reposted it. Oh, I'm one of the first. Oh, let's go. Because then, because I wrote, well, you crowdfunded so you could get it all back. Like, what are you talking about? It means nothing. What are you talking about? It means nothing to you? Huh? How? Then why'd you want the money back? Why'd you need the money back then? Wouldn't you just be like, well, that's money gone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye money. I don't need this money. Isn't that how that works when it's nothing to you? I don't know. It seems weird. Coping is crazy. It's a crazy amount of coping. You know?
Check your socials because there's big news in the sports world. No, it's not a blockbuster trade or a big-name free agent signing. The DraftKings Sports app is now available nationwide. So if you're anywhere from Florida to Texas to California, you can get in the game at the speed of sports and feel the sweat in all 50 states. The DraftKings experience you know and love, all in one easy-to-use app. Available now nationwide. New DraftKings customers spend $5 to get $150 in total bonus.
Man, what can you do? And Turning Point's like, give us that money right now. And he's like, I thought I could have the money if you won, you didn't win. I think I did win. We don't care what you think, Andrew. Mr. Bush was pissed. This is crazy. Give us the money. I'm kidding. Turning Point had nothing to do with it. Turning Point had nothing to do with it. Andrew said that all women are retarded, but in fact, it's just him. So, Turning Point had nothing to do with this level of low IQ. It was just him. That's just how he feels. That's just what he does. It's very weird to be like, it was nothing for me to prove that Candace had no evidence of any of her claims. Why do you care to the tune of $300,000? Why do you care? Why do you care to the tune of $300,000 to prove that Erica had nothing to do with it? To prove that Philadelphia had nothing to do with it? And to prove that Tyler Robinson is not a patsy, not being set up as a patsy? Why would you care to the tune of $300,000? I mean, Bill Ackman doesn't believe a word that Candace has to say. I think he's a billionaire, or he has like millions upon millions of dollars. It didn't even matter to him that much. Ben Shapiro, we can talk smack about Ben Shapiro all we want. Ben Shapiro's a multi-millionaire, and it doesn't matter to him that much. It's so crazy to think that this was just something he did on his own. It's so wild, but that's what we're forced to do. And we can talk about what Anna said really quick. She says, how does one agree to pay $300,000 to debate a criminal case when they don't even know what the suspect is being charged with? What is that? It's very weird. Someone said a bad Turning Point USA investment. Oh gosh. That's fun. That's fun. That's him on the inside. That's him deep on the inside. That's how that feels, right? He's just like, ah! Just screaming for sure.
Who said that?
Kidding me? If we live in a world billionaire, or he has like millions upon millions of dollars, it didn't even matter to him that much. Ben Shapiro, we can talk smack about Ben Shapiro all we want. Ben Shapiro's a multi-millionaire, and it doesn't matter to him that much. It's so crazy to think that this was just something he did on his own. It's so wild, but that's what we're forced to do. And we can talk about what Anna said really quick. She says, how does one agree to pay $300,000 to debate a criminal case when they don't even know what the suspect is being charged with? What is that? It's very weird. Someone said a bad Turning Point USA investment. Oh gosh. That's fun. That's fun. That's him on the inside. That's him deep on the inside. That's how that feels, right? He's just like, ah! That's fun. That's fun. That's him on the inside. That's him deep on the inside. Investment. Oh gosh. Anna said really quick. She says, how does one agree to pay $300,000 to debate a criminal case when they don't even know what the suspect is being charged with? What is that? It's very weird. Someone said a bad Turning Point USA investment. Oh gosh. That's fun. That's fun. That's him on the inside. That's him deep on the inside. That's how that feels, right? He's just like, ah! Just screaming for sure. Are you kidding me? If we live in a world where that's actually his money, it's the worst thing in the world to have happen. That doesn't do anything. All he did was prove nothing. He got to sit down with Candace. He got to Candace's house, which I still don't like that happened. And then on top of that, he just lost the money. He lost the money and made Candace the highest paid debater ever. Who's been paid more? Who's been paid more to debate anything? There's one guy, I think he got paid $100,000 or 80 grand, something like that. There's one person, she got paid way more, $300,000. He just made her the highest paid debater ever. That's it. He just gave her this incredible, wild accolade out of nowhere. Oh, I mean, just mind-boggling. Let's keep going through the reactions, ladies and gentlemen. Barry Coleman again says they're not even acting like they care if the case against Tyler Robinson is overwhelming. It's all about Candace's claims being addressed. Candace is not facing the death penalty. Tyler is. And they promise the case against him is solid. It's not. That was in response to Andrew saying this. They were always going to Zarg? Zarg? Is that like some nerd lingo? I don't know. Zarg?
Okay.
They were always going to Zarg? Do people know what that is? Is this just me? Someone like putting Uncle Alert on the chat right now? Because I don't know what Zarg means. I've never heard that in my life. What does that even mean? Someone said you're from Seattle. Who said they're from Seattle? Ban that person.
Yo.
Hey, what you doing?
Yo. Hey, man, what's up?
Y'all don't do
I'm
the Bible
actually on the other
study.
line to a Bible study with Daniel Unloaded.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, man. What you got? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I was trying to see if y'all were doing Bible study today. I was gonna jump in with you because I'm awake.
All right, yeah, we're just talking. We're not even discussing. We're already done with the reading. He's talking.
Right on. All right, love you. God bless you.
I'll call you back, bro.
Okay.
In a few minutes.
All right, peace.
Love you, man. God bless you, bro. Bye.
Person. Ban that person immediately. Ban that blue-haired person immediately. I'm kidding. Don't ban them. Zerg? Who cares? Somebody's like, it's Zerg, not Zar. Who cares? What is it? I don't care. What is it? What is it? It's definitely gay nerd speak. Yeah, it is. Which one of you nerds knows what it means? Let's see. Let's scour the chat for a second. It's a term from StarCraft. It's from StarCraft. No, shout out to you. Thank you for telling me. Thank you. I do appreciate that, Patrick. Thank you very much. That's something I would never know. I don't even know where you play StarCraft, honestly. Someone said put some respect on StarCraft. Absolutely not. Hey, no. Never. What? Nope. I barely even know what it is. I know it's a game. Zero respect on StarCraft, sorry. I would put more respect on Andrew Wilson than StarCraft. I barely even know what it is. Anyway. And spam with something. It's not every day a person gets to prove a multi-million-dollar industry is a complete sham and never had any evidence of its claims. You won't ever be to do that. You won't ever be able to do that. Okay. But I did. Of course they're pissed. I mean, this is crazy. And then he just gets eaten up in the comments. Someone said you're creating delusion. You didn't prove anything other than you also can't state with 100% certainty that Tyler Robinson did it. Yeah. Project Constitution. Everybody's he's just getting torn up. It's terrible. So I'm honestly shocked at this strategy. To pretend like you succeeded and didn't make a complete fool of yourself when we all watched the debate. I mean, it is wild. It's more of that, what do they say? Candace has been saying it a lot, don't believe your eyes, right? Don't believe your own eyes. And that's why Barron said this to Andrew. Did Andrew respond, perhaps? I'd be surprised if Andrew just responded with, like, debate me immediately. I guess he didn't say anything. You think he would say something? Too bad. I don't think he wants any part of Barron, to be honest. I don't see why he would. Anyways. You're making it so I can't play. Okay. I'm already at the point where I can't play things. Don't even worry about it. We're fine. We'll keep going. I just got to remember to reset when I show you guys a clip. That's all. We'll get there. I'm just gonna close some tabs. Maybe it has to do with tabs, but I don't know. I close all the tabs every time, and it still does it. So I don't think it has anything to do with that. Candace Owens has something to say to Andrew after Andrew says this. Oh, is it a whole back and forth between Candace and Andrew? Okay. So Andrew Wilson claims never seen before text messages from Charlie Kirk revealed that he feared the left was trying to off him shortly before his passing. We have already heard that. We don't need to hear that again. We'll just see Candace's response. Just like that, Turning Point USA claims they're hoarse, like we didn't already know. Andrew has something to say back to her. He says, turns out people are far more likely to cooperate if you don't pretend without evidence for months that they were involved in a French/Philadelphia offing plot. Now, this is it's interesting that he's saying this. He's saying, the only reason that they gave him those text messages is because he was nice to them. There have been many people who are not Candace. Again, all the focus, Barron's right, all the focus goes on Candace. There have been many people who've been very nice, who have said, hey, can we see the video? Can we see this? Can we see that? And every single time they've said no. And it just so happens that Andrew walks in and he says, "Hey guys, can I see some text messages?" And they're like, "Everybody blows smoke in my face and then ask me for something." That's Grindr. Close that. Close Grindr app. Okay. No. Come on, Andrew. This is getting ridiculous now. You know, no one's gonna believe that. You know. Anyway, let's get into this. So that's what he had to say there. Then we'll jump over here and see what she had to say back. Did you drop those actual text messages on your show as promised? You premiered a never seen before text message from Charlie, but we noticed that it remains never before seen. And then she tags Andrew and Erica Kirk. It's a strange way to premiere it, but we're all looking forward to seeing it. I mean, there you go. Andrew, have anything to say back? Oh, gosh. Now, jeez. This is sad. Now, I think many people have brought this up, but again, change your name, man. I don't know how to say that name, but the cameraman. He says a lot of people have been pointing this out, that Andrew read this and then Erica said one thing. So it's obvious that this came directly from Erica. Now it's interesting because he also said, where did he say it? He said he hugged Erica, he said he talked to her, but he said it was just a conversation in the hallway. So that means he first met her in a hallway. He gave her a big hug. Okay? Gross. I'm just saying what she probably thought in her head. So he gave her a big hug. Then he talked to her for a few minutes in a hallway. And within those few minutes that he talked to her, while he was at Turning Point headquarters, she gave him text messages from Charlie Kirk that she didn't even know at the time would be used for a debate. Okay. Cool. Okay. That's fine. Okay. That doesn't make sense, but fine. But cool. Okay? Let's just leave it at that. That's what was going on there, I suppose. So, we'll see. But a lot of people have been speculating, or at least showing these two clips, that Andrew says one thing and Erica says another.
Right now, he's using his bougie new bathroom. But before that, he checked his approval odds on Credit Karma and decided to refinance his personal loan so he could finally level up his latrine with less in interest payments. To get more confidence to fix her up, download the app.
If it's 20 minutes from now that I have to play something, I'm going to forget. But if it's like a few minutes, I'm going to remember. I'm so going to remember. You know, of course I'm going to remember. How could I forget? And then I forget, you know. That's just the way that goes. That's just the way it goes. I guess it's because I'm getting older. I don't know. Someone's probably hitting me with the Uncle alert, you know. What can I do? What can I do? Anyway, let's get back into it here.
Charlie responded with this. Okay, great. Remind them that they are there for one person's security only. Because I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me. That was a message sent September 9th.
But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered, they're coming after me, someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I had his cell phone.
Charlie responded with this. Okay, great. Remind them that they are there for one person's security only. Because I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me.
One more time.
That was a message sent September 9th.
But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered, they're coming after me, someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I had his cell phone.
So that was her, if you guys don't remember, that was her trying to dispel what Candace Owens was putting out there, which was that Charlie Kirk was saying that, you know, quote unquote, they are going to get him, right? That was what he said. They are going to get him. And Erica said that's not true. And then soon after this interview with Glenn Beck that Erica was on, she met with Candace Owens. And Candace said, this is what he was saying to people. She said no. And then Candace said, my source is Andrew Colvett. And then she said, oh, And then she looked at her phone, Charlie's phone, and went through it a little bit, and she went, oh, yeah, you're right. There are some messages that say that. And she said it was because she looked through not just his text messages, but into some other apps, and she actually did find that he was saying that. Now, what a thing to put out there. Why, when you're sitting with Candace Owens, because apparently this happened all while they were sitting together, why wouldn't you then say, well, you're right, he was saying that. But also, Candace, just so you know, this has nothing to do with Philadelphia, because if you look at this text message, he was also saying this. The left is trying to off him. And then that would have put what Candace was saying to bed. That could have happened months ago. I mean, how long ago did Candace and Erica sit down together? So, doesn't make any sense. Now all of a sudden this text message pops up. Just saying. I'm sure they're all being truthful. Nothing but truth and justice. Someone said, did his security guy confirm that text? No, nobody's confirming anything. Are you crazy? This is Andrew. This is Andrew Wilson. He's proved himself to be terrible. This is not good. It's gonna be fine because he's gonna go back to the manosphere and they're gonna be like Christianity and OnlyFans. That's what our debate's gonna be about. And it's gonna be some guy and he's gonna be like, well, what I do on this is of God. And Andrew's gonna be like, no, it's not. And then like that's he's just gonna go back to that. It's fine. He's gonna go back to the whatever podcast. It's gonna be fine. In the eyes of, I guess, you could say serious people, serious topics, I don't think he's going to be taken that seriously. He's going to always have to put a clause in every debate going forward that if anybody brings up pickle jars and if anybody brings up Candace Owens, it's an automatic default and he wins the debate. That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to. Because debaters like to use strategy, and if they want to throw someone off, if they want to get someone mad, they know what to do. I mean, that girl did it to him. She's like, your wife has 3 baby daddies. And he was like, you lick schniz. You lick schniz. I know you do. She did that to piss him off. It was true, but she did it just to piss him off, obviously. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough going forward. It's going to be very, very rough. Did Barron have a jar of pickles at the beginning of his episode? It's very, very petty if he did. Somebody's told me that he did. 2 hours, 11 minutes, 17 seconds, comma. What is that timestamp? You're probably hearing this as I'm saying it, Lainey. And it's writing it because I'm doing voice to text. Okay. Sorry. Well, what is that? What timestamp are you trying to show me there? Let me know. But yeah, when you look at all of that, I don't know, man. This whole text message thing just doesn't check out for me. Not at all. Not at all. But we'll see. Again, if he shows it, what can I say? Am I just going to jump into, when he talks about Erica Kirk? Okay, thank you. Actually, yeah, we should show that. We should show that. You're right. You're right. About the text message. You're 100% right. Let me jump over there. 2 hours, what did you say? 2 hours, 11 minutes, 17 seconds. Let's look at that. Here, let me just check that out. Thank you so much, Lainey. Appreciate you. Here, let's jump in there really, really quick. And you got
Yeah, 2256. Awesome. Let's see. Too much stuff in here, but it'll be alright.
This is where he talks about Eric Berg. Again, this is just speaking to the fact of, like, in this brief time, you got these text messages from him. Very weird. Because again, when he went over to the headquarters, it was just to train debaters. That's what he said. Okay, I'm just telling you what he said. Just to train up the debaters. And then he said something about the Crucible being involved in their debate. Which that I don't even believe now, because I was thinking about it this morning, and one of you guys told me that Graham was now sitting at the table doing the Charlie Kirk thing, and I'm not kidding. You think Graham was taking coaching lessons from Andrew Wilson? Listen, I know I talk down about Graham all the time. I doubt he's taking debate coaching from Andrew Wilson. He's like, buddy, I work for the Pentagon. I have the power of Satan within me. I don't need your debate strategy. Thank you. You know what I mean?
To kill her husband. Would you like to explain how you developed your evidence, your positive evidence for the fact that Erica was retarded?
Yeah, sure. So I just think all women are retarded.
Oh, so you're allowed to just say stuff. Who knew? So, and by the way, what dramatically transformed your opinion of Erica after going to the headquarters? Because you were pretty hostile about.
I wasn't hostile.
You don't think calling somebody too retarded?
No. Come on. That's like normal tongue-in-cheek stuff for me.
Oh, you're being tongue-in-cheek.
It's so funny he says that, because for me it is.
sermon again. So before every sermon, I open this app, hit record, and that's it. Transcribe.
That fast. He doesn't know anything about what's in front of him. His way is like, fuck, let's go.
How is something? I just was curious.
And then he digs his hole deeper.
It's about all with just one drink. When you pull back your phone, you forget. Second question. So, only by chance. That's that question.
You can check my phone.
I'm just curious.
No, absolutely. No, I did not. I have not had one communication with this single person, and not even my producers were in there this whole time we were here. You want to check my phone?
It's really not that complicated to memorize 7 charges. It's not like she memorizes things. Like, she just works the case and has it all in her bones because she's so in the material.
Yeah, it's been 11 months, man. I mean, it's not on her side. It's not even that tough. It's been 11 months, and she gets the most attacks out of anyone. And I think it's one person who's suing her so far. Right, Harpole, and that's it. I don't know if there's any more. I think she got that threat in the early months from Turning Point. It was kind of like a cease and desist type of thing, because she was under some kind of contract, and she said she wanted to pay to get out of it. I mean, of course she knows. She knows she has to know. She has to know all these things. And Barron has talked about, I don't know if you've seen it, Barron's talked about the type of mind that she has, because he's actually sat in conversation like off camera, so he knows that it's real. Because we are seeing it when it's off camera, you know that it's real. Like if you sit with me, if you meet me, however you laugh when you are where you are right now, you're gonna laugh the same way, and I'm gonna do it about anything. I can make you laugh about anything, and I'm just gonna be doing that because that's just me. You're gonna see, you're like, wow, he's really like that. This is not a thing. There's no teleprompter. This is not prepared. There's no people. There's no earpiece. There's nothing like that. You'll see. You'll meet me one day, and I'm just like this. And I'll just start making you laugh, and I'll just start making jokes, because that's just how I am. And that's how she is with this case. It's just what she has. Like Ian said perfectly. You know, it's in her bones now.
That's why it's in there. Andrew Wilson apparently cannot imagine that, a woman would remember 7 things.
How do you do it? Because you're just going to get double embarrassed. Where's the phone?
I'm just curious.
You can literally do that. Here you go. DVD. You're the moderator. Take it. See if anyone was texting that.
It's a public castration. Jeez. Man, I always warn people before Ian comes on. You're going to hear some words. It's not, it's not like, he doesn't do code words. He doesn't do sugar, honey, iced tea. He doesn't play all that stuff. He says what he means what he says. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, what a thing to say. The fact that Candace said double embarrassed, she's so aware of this situation. Everyone's aware of the situation. And Patrick's aware. Someone just said emotional damage. Yep. It's just, wow. That's too much. That's too much. If somebody texts you that question, why? And then as soon as she says, you can check my phone, he should just say, stop. I'm sorry I even brought it up. That's what he should do. But even right now, he's clinging to a little bit of hope. You can see him right there. He's looking at that phone. He's looking at Patrick take it, and he's just hoping Patrick finds something. He's just praying. He's like, I've seen Patrick at Mr. Machuca's office. He's like, come on, he's gonna find something. Come on, Patrick. Come on. And sadly, Patrick finds nothing. This is the most emasculating thing I've ever seen.
I'm looking for this.
It's so dumb, dude.
Nothing disrespectful. It's just a compliment.
Completely avoidable.
It's just a compliment.
He's reading.
You're okay. You give me we can read 3 hours, 11:32, because after that I don't need to read.
And also point out that this is the behavior of a woman that has nothing to hide. Because she doesn't. She's right with God. She loves her life. She believes in herself. Do you think Andrew would hand his phone? Someone would be like, look through everything in there. I don't mind.
And you know the text. Come in.
hold on. I'm trying to get my headset to work. Hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to get something, one of my headsets to work. It's like messing with me. I don't know why it's doing it. Still don't work. Still don't make sense. I'm gonna try something else. Let me see here. Call you back.
Man, that is just sad to see. Daisy, I saw Daisy said she thinks, or Gary thinks that Baron orchestrated that part. I have that clip, and I just have so many clips open right now. So come on, say the word. Tabs. I have so many tabs open that I just can't find it. But I know I have it. I know I do. Gary. Old Gare Bear as
Wait, you can declutter on Vinted? Yep, earn cash from homeware, fashion, sports gear, collectibles, books, toys, and more. Just download it. Get ready to sell across all kinds of categories. And with no selling fees, you keep all the money you earn. Turn household clutter into cash on Vinted. Don't use it, sell it.
I think that Baron Cohen set that whole thing up. You know, I think he's the orchestrator behind all of that. Oh my gosh, where is it? Where is it? I have to find it. Come on. Oh my gosh, I don't have it? No. Daisy, if you're here, send me that clip. I should have it. I don't know why I don't. Oh man. Gary. Come on, Care Bear. I can't believe it. I can't believe I don't have that clip. I should have it ready. I feel like Andrew Wilson right now. Only difference is I'm talking through all of this. That's the only difference. I can't believe it's not there. But we're also going to talk about Hayden. Rest in peace, Hayden. I don't know how to say her last name. But this lady who passed away just yesterday, I believe it was announced. We're going to talk about her because an interview that she did 3 months ago came out. And I Oh, it's the copium clip. I have that clip, but I had your thing on it. Oh, my bad. Okay, so I do have this. But Daisy for the win, ladies and gentlemen. Daisy comes through. I'm sure Lady did too. I'm just looking at my DMs right now. Let me just move this over here. That is hilarious. Check this out, guys. This is Gary. Gary has something to say about this whole thing.
She did that kind of deal, the whole semantics deal. But some people say that she won, and the thing that they're hanging their hat on is her catching him on not knowing all 7 of the charges. That's really what they're hanging their hat on that. And then the weirdest one, I guess it's not weird. I guess it's kind of like.
Oh, I just want to say, I think that was absolutely set up, and I think that was orchestrated by Baron Coleman.
Gary, the guy moved on. You notice that? He moved.
And then the weirdest one, I guess it's not weird. I guess it's kind of like.
Hold on, I just want.
He just said, let's just keep going. And Gary's like, no, hold on, I got something dumb to say. Hey, guys, I have something dumb to say. Hold on, please. I have something ridiculous to say. Guys, quiet. I have something, excuse me, something dumb.
Eric Coleman, good job,
Hold
Aaron.
on 1 second. Go ahead.
I just want to state, I think that was absolutely set up, and I think that was orchestrated by Baron Coleman himself. I think that was a talking point that he hit Candace on, and I think that was a strategy that they were going to run with after this, that they could pull that out and run with that and get that talking point out into, you know, the zeitgeist and run with that. And I
What are you talking about, bro? It make no sense at all.
Over my voice. Or, oh, never mind. I'm going to shut up.
No, see, I can be polite enough. I will. Hold on, real quick, everybody hush. All right, look, real quick. I said this from the beginning, and when I saw that clip, I knew that was a contrived gotcha moment. And
He did it twice? Twice? He muted. He muted everyone so he could say it?
Contrived. But he had to. He had to do that. This is talking point.
Oh my gosh.
That
is so crazy. I didn't even know it was 2 times he went into it. Oh my gosh. That is sad. That is sad. He knew it was a contrived moment. How was it a contrived moment? It was just a thing she thought of. She was like, this guy doesn't seem invested. I've been sitting with him for hours. I thought this beforehand. After sitting with him for hours, I still think it. And you know what? Does he even know this? That's not a contrived moment. That's a moment she hit in her head. That is an authentic moment. That wasn't contrived. For it to be contrived, it would have to be set up by people. Her team couldn't have set that up. They were telling her in the control room. His team would have known that was happening, and they would have done something. How could he? Does he even know what could? See, that's me. That's me. That's my fault. I'm thinking he knows what the word contrived means. That's me. There you go. Sometimes you gotta blame yourself. So put that to yourself. That's on me. I thought he knew what that word meant. He doesn't know what that word means. And that's why he's saying that. See, sometimes you gotta look inward. You know what I mean? That's my fault. That's my fault. That is purely on me. That's on no one else. My apologies, guys. My apologies. Here, let's hear the rest.
gotcha moment. And I think that was absolutely set up by Baron Coleman himself. That's my suspicion. I don't know that, the speculation, but that was definitely, I was like, that was an engineered gotcha moment. And right when we got off, I started seeing it all over X. Oh, he didn't know the 7 charges. It's so dumb. But she didn't even know that it was that she didn't have
There's 2
that
clips.
there wasn't Lance's DNA on the rifle, amongst many other.
Not only did she not know, she lied about it. Oh, that's so funny. It's so funny that he's like, and then I go on X and everybody's talking about it. Yeah, that's what happens. What do you think? Those are Russian bots? Do you think this is like for the bots from Pakistan? What do you think? You think it's a bot farm that activated? Yeah, people were shocked. People were shocked. Because like me, people at least know. Like, you can't deny. Andrew debates. He knows what he's doing around a debate. He schedules them all the time. That's what he schedules more than anything. More than podcast appearance where he's just... what he does. So when he didn't know, everybody was like, what? Because you have to realize, this is after hours of listening to him. And you're like, wow, what an arrogant guy. You know, it's like a show. It's like you watch a show. You ever watch a show and there's always a guy where you're like, I can't wait till that guy gets it. That guy, oh, I can't wait. I hope something happens to that guy, you know? I hope something happens. It's like Game of Thrones. You're like waiting for something to happen to Littlefinger. That was his name, right? You're waiting for it to happen to Littlefinger. You're like, Littlefinger, get it, man. Littlefinger deserves it. Can't wait till something happens to Littlefinger. You're just waiting. Right? King Joffrey. You're like, I can't wait till somebody gets that little kid. I can't. And then you see him poison, he's choking. You're like, yeah, eat it. Eat it. Eat it, Joffrey. Good. That was the feeling everybody had. That's the feeling everybody had when they saw Andrew going through that. They were like, it's about time, you know? I mean, there were moments of that happening. I mean, the whole debate was that, but that moment in particular. So of course everybody's posting about it. Come on. Yeah. So silly. But yeah, Baron Coleman did it. You know? You gotta see, Gary, you have to stay consistent, man. It's either Baron Coleman is a con man and he's not smart, or he is a master of manipulation who can puppeteer Candace Owens of all people. You can't have both. You can't have both. You know what I mean? Someone said he is 5'6". Yeah. That was sad news. You know, when I did that prayer for Gary, after I found out he was like very oddly, maliciously, my imagination. Well, not my imagination. Why else are you looking for my address? Trying to do something possibly violent to me, maybe. And I did that prayer. I so would have included his height in that prayer if I had known. I just didn't know. I had no idea. I thought we were praying for a regular sized person. I really did. Anyways, yeah. Crazy. Yeah, Baron Coleman, ladies and gentlemen, the mastermind behind it all. Yeah. That would have been something, but there was no way for that. You know, as soon as she said, "Here's the phone," that's it. Too bad. And you know, imagine this guy had. I mean, Candace was just kind of getting through something. This is like Candace's side quest. She was just like, okay, whatever, you want to debate? Okay, I've debated 1,000 times. Okay, let's do it. I've debated with Charlie Kirk. You know that, right? You don't even know that? Okay. Anyway, let's just get through this really quick. She's just kind of like sorting it out. She's like, okay, get through. All right. You know? It's like if my toddler runs up to me and wants to fight. It's like, okay, you know, I'm just use the toddler, pick the toddler up, put the toddler on the bed, be quiet. And you can walk away. Yeah. If he had to go up against Baron Coleman would be way more ruthless. I think. Yeah, I don't know for a fact. I think he'd be way more ruthless with Andrew. Way more ruthless. You know, Candace was just kind of like clear cut, like just sitting there. Just like a kung fu master versus someone who's like just a street fighter, quote unquote. Yeah. Baron would be like, there would be a real problem. Baron would be like, you have to know this. Do you know this? Do you know anything? He would go into like, you know, he'd go into like dad mode, like teacher mode. Like, do you know anything about what we're talking about today? I want to know what you know. Why don't